Hello again, everyone. This is Kyle Berter for Kyle's Critiques. I don't know if you noticed, you see I got a nice haircut, got all spiffed up for you guys, so you should appreciate it. Maybe someday I'll shave this scruff off my face, start getting some more hits and stuff. I don't know how bribery works, that's all I gotta say. No, guys, on a serious note, got a bunch of movies I'm going to be reviewing, probably like 3 or 4 in the next couple of days. I'm going to start off with the new Steven Spielberg movie, Lincoln. Now, this is going to come to a shock to a lot of people, and I don't know, maybe you saw this and maybe you liked it. I saw this with a good friend of mine, and we both pretty much came away with pretty similar reactions. Just wasn't what I expected. I was really expected to be lifted up and blown away and just, taken to another level. It just didn't deliver in that respect. I really don't think it did. I think a lot of people are appreciating this for the fact that it's very grandiose and, it's Lincoln, so of course, to due respect, no one wants to, for lack of a better word, shit on it. But I'm going to, because I'm keeping it real. What I do is I'm honest here, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And as a whole movie, it just wasn't very good. Spielberg's made much better movies. This was just, it seemed just didn't get there. I don't know if it was lack of effort. I don't know what they were going for. I can say that I fell asleep several times, and I didn't. And if someone would respond and say, "Well, okay, did you see Cloud Atlas? That was 3 hours, and did you fall asleep during that?" I didn't fall asleep during Cloud Atlas at all. I was riveted during Cloud Atlas. I loved it. It was great. This was not that kind of movie. It's very, very long. It drags a lot at certain parts. I figure I'll get the bad stuff out of the way first, because there were some things I liked about it, but I would tell you that as a whole, I don't consider it a good film, because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And anybody who watches movies a lot and is a big movie fan and an avid connoisseur of films, I think they would tell you the same thing. I think that if they were really being honest with themselves, they would tell you the same thing. I think the people who are reviewing this and loving this are not being honest. That's my opinion. You can love it or hate it. It's just the way I feel. It honestly, at points, read like the minutes of the meeting in Congress at 865. Like if you were reading off the notes, there were little parts of excitement, but overall, in the scenes, the scenes in Congress in session, incredibly boring. It was not what it was made out to be, which I thought was going to be Lincoln. The story of Lincoln, and kind of a general when they do these biopics is start to finish, or at least a bigger part. This was all this was a very short period. Just getting the 13th passed, that's all it was. It's all about the 13th Amendment, which, yeah, it's an interesting part, but there's more there. And there's more. I really think if they had fleshed out more and done more of the story, this could have been such a good film. It really saddens me because it was a waste. It really was. This could have been a film that, in reality, should be talked about for years. Unfortunately, it's going to be anyways, because majority of the people are going to love this, and I don't understand, and I really think it's dishonesty with themselves. But whatever, this is the way the film world works, unfortunately. I hate The Master as well, but that's probably going to win a freaking Academy Awards. This is what you get. If you choose to watch movies and you keep doing it, you're going to be disappointed sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be happy. Sometimes you're going to feel like you want to throw something at the TV. That's the way it works. So, yeah, direction, obviously, disappointed with Spielberg because it just wasn't a good movie. In many respects, Tony Kushner really disappointed me with the writing. I did not think, for the most part. There's parts that are good, but for the most part, overall, the writing is very flat. And it just doesn't do what you want it to do. Kind of goes nowhere. Good points. Here's what I will say. Despite the fact, and this sounds crazy, despite the fact that this was, in my opinion, not a great movie, the main three performances in this movie, I'm pretty sure, will all get Oscar nods, and I think there's a strong possibility that at least two of them will win. And that, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, Sally Field, and Tommy Lee Jones. I loved their performances. I thought they were absolutely... I still thought David Strathairn as the Secretary of State was also good. Was also very good. I always liked him. But those three main performances pretty much kept the movie worth watching. They were the only thing that really kept me there. When Lincoln was when Lincoln was on the screen, because if you've been hearing that Daniel Day-Lewis literally becomes Lincoln, that is 100% true. I will not deny this. This man should 100% win his third Oscar. It's not even a doubt in my mind. I don't see anyone that could take it from him this year. I think it was an incredible performance. Sally Field also absolutely impeccable as Mary Todd. Very good. Tommy Lee Jones put in the humor and was also just in a role that's kind of familiar role for him, is the angry firebrand. He's done that before, but he's very good at it. And it's one of those things where if you're good at something, do it. That's what I've always said. So those three performances, absolutely amazing. Made the movie worth watching. But I would tell you that in the end, it's like my friend Jeff says, you're not acting in a vacuum. And I don't think three good performances make a movie. There's got to be other things. And I thought the ending was incredibly anticlimactic. The way they presented it was just bad. I've seen movies where the movie ends and you're either in tears or you're overwhelmed with emotion of some way, whether it be happiness, sadness, whatever. I just didn't feel that with this, man. And I will tell you guys, I hate to say that, because anybody I know would tell you that I was super psyched about this. I really thought it was going to be the absolute movie of the year, bar none. And it completely let me down. I really was disappointed, and it sucks because I was going in thinking best picture, best director, give it everything. This thing's going to win everything. And maybe that will still happen, but I don't think it deserves to happen. Sorry to say, guys. All right, overall rating. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be generous. I will be generous and give this movie a rating. I'll tell you what, really, I think I should rate it much lower, but just because of the three performances, of how good those three performances are, I'm going to give it a higher rating. I'm going to give it a 5. I really don't think it really deserves. If it weren't for those performances, this movie would be a 2. I'm telling you guys, see the movie. If it weren't for those take those performances out and tell me how good that movie is. Just do it, because you can't. That's the only thing that makes the movie watchable. And really, Daniel Day-Lewis is the main one. It's because when he's on the screen, you're interested. When he's off, you're like, oh my god, who cares? Can this end? I want to go home and sleep and eat a hot dog. All right, guys, that's my rating for 5. 5 for Lincoln. Next review coming up. It's either going to be Ruby Sparks or Skyfall. Probably Skyfall. Tune in for that. You're going to like it a lot. Alright, guys. Until next time, thanks a lot.